All right, welcome back to It's a Metal Thing. This is part 2 of the front gate video. Hope you enjoy it. If you do, hit the like button, subscribe. Check me out on Instagram at It's a Metal Thing. Let's get to it. Okay, so I'm going to start by mark the center of the column. I'm going to put this up here. Going to level it up. I'm going to mark the holes and drill with that. Put the anchors in, get both these sides mounted, and then we'll move on from there. With a bad knee. It sucks. Go get an MRI on the 11th. My knee's been jacked up for about 3 months now. Don't tell anyone. So, as you can see, got this, both sides are mounted up. There was a high spot in the center there that I had to grind out. It's a good fit over there now. We're centered up, we're leveled up. I'm just going to, right now, I'm going to check the height across the top. I'll put a piece on here, but so it's time to start cutting some tubing and get it in there. So far, so good. There it is. Where are these things? Perfect. So that's how I do it. Build it on site. The gap is right. Height is right. Everything is right. Lines up top and bottom. Everything is good. That's how it's done by sAMetalthing. Let's take it down and get it back to the shop. All right, next day, back at the shop. Got the frame for the gate ready to go. It's squared up, I'm happy with it. Going to lay it out here on this sheet of wire mesh. Again, 2x2, 3/16 solid, cold roll. I just even the gap. Try to get a nice gap all around. It's a little bit different on one way to the other, but you know, it is what it is. I marked it all with a marker. I'm gonna cut it out with this thing. I put a little extra mark up here and a little mark over here just to reference it for later, because I'll be flipping it around probably, and just to get it back how it was drawn and how it's cut. It's probably not perfectly square, actually it's not. Nothing's perfect in this world, except for me. Just ask my wife. But that's for another time. So I'm gonna get going on that and make this happen. Okay, you have to do a little graining. It's a little too much on there. Try to be careful just to cut the little marker, because the marker was just inside, so it should have went, but it's a little tight, which is what I want. I don't want any gaps, because I don't want any giant wells. I just want to be able to, if I can, just put a fuse on there and maybe just a little touch of a filler if I need to. It's close, man. Close. All right, do that. Okay, got a grinding disc on here. And give it a little touch. These are getting kind of warped. Flatten this out a little. Been sitting around a while. You want to keep them flat if you can. I want to take my time, like I said, I want it to fit tight. That's why you mark it. I didn't mark it, I know which way this thing would be going. Oh, yeah. That's it, man. That's it. Pretty much stays in place. So it's just snug. I'm happy with that. So you can see it's holding up by itself. So it's just the snug fit. So I'm going with that. It's not too tight. Should work pretty good. It's not going to expand anything or make anything weird. And then two, if there's one that's kind of really tight or whatever, especially on the smaller one, and you heat it, once it gets red hot, it's going to conform to whatever the rest of it is. So I'm going to do the other one, which is going to be a little bit trickier just because it has the cutout for the handrail or the handle. But, I think too, when you're doing it, pay attention to the mesh, right? I'm obviously going to lay it on here the same way, but you also got to pay attention to, which side's the top and which side's the bottom, because you don't want them backwards. I'm just going to move the next one over here, so it shouldn't be an issue, but if you're ever doing them separate, you got to pay attention to that orientation as well, because it sucks when you get that shit together and you realize you're off, because you got to fix it. You can't leave it, because it'll look like ass, and nobody wants that. All right, so I'm going to get on the next one, and then I'll come back and we'll weld it up. All right. Gates are just about done. I cut and fit the other piece. I was gonna TIG them because it would be a lot more sanitary, but after a little bit I realized how it was just gonna take too long. I did the math. I think it was gonna end up being like 4.5 days or something like that, which is way too long. So I MIG'd them. It turned out good. I'm happy. Little sanitary welds. Just gotta come back and clean all these little berries up. Get a file and bust all those, but overall I'm happy. I sent a picture to the customer. She's Pam, the finish girl, so she was talking about doing a finish on them, but just like everyone else, cobbler shoes, she doesn't want to work on her own stuff and doesn't have time. She asked me if I could oxidize them. I said I could. I could either oxidize them or rust them, but the problem is if she wants to come back and put a finish on them later, which she had talked about doing, you have to take them down and have them sandblasted or stripped and cleaned all down. So I told her, I said I could spray some shaky can. I got some oil rub bronze I got from Home Depot. Works pretty good. And they like that color. For some reason, that's like the most popular color with these people. Anyway, so I'm just gonna paint them up. You don't need to see that. I'm gonna install tomorrow, quick install. They were already up once. All I did was fill them in. They should bolt right in literally in 10 minutes. The only thing I have to do is bring my rotor hammer and drill a hole for the pin that holds the stationary gate. And then I put the hole for the doorknob, which she has, and it'll be there in the morning. I put the hole once it's in place. So I kind of fit it. You know, I make sure it opens and closes right and latches right. I don't do that beforehand. So that'll be all I gotta do, and that'll be tomorrow. So you guys can see it then. So until tomorrow. Okay, here it is. Finished product. Pretty sleek, sanitary. Lines up good, Door opens good, door closes good. Okay, well that's it for the video. There was a section that I missed, the installation. I taped the camera to the dog gate because I didn't have my tripod, and it went like that. It stayed like that the whole time. But anyway, you get the idea. So hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, and check me out on Instagram at sAMetalthing. Catch you on the next one.